and they say, B word, I'm going to get my money back. I said, okay, we'll see. You gifted somebody money. That's not how it works. If you want to, we could take this to Judge Judy. I mean, Judge Judy will flat out tell you to your face, you gifted this person money, and now you want it back because of some fake rumor on Reddit dragging some random guy that Reddit is randomly doxing, who legit has a daughter who's probably seeing her dad get dragged on the internet randomly. Man, some people are just crazy. And to like snap at me like that, like I'm going through a situation, right? And then you come out of nowhere and just start being rude. Like, I was truthfully honest because they said, is that Ronald guy your dad? And I was like, no, like, I don't know what they're talking about. Then comes back and says, I seen enough on Reddit. Then tried to say some stuff that doesn't make sense because it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense what they tried to say. And I'm not going to say what they tried to say, but I blocked them. I said, you block me or I block you. So I blocked them. I'm like, I'm not arguing with you. I'm going through a situation. You're in my DMs. You're trying to, I don't know. I'm just depressed. That's all. I do not feel good. It was like a account that was like random, that was attacking me out of nowhere because of this Ronald guy, which I don't like that because it bothers me, you know, because of it bothers me because it's like, why did you come with this energy? All of a sudden you're just attacking me. And then I said, I'm not going to be polite anymore. I'm just going to start cussing you out. I started cussing them out. I went off on them because I said, I've been polite as I could be. And you pushed me because they kept on, like, attacking me, saying, I want my money back. Like, you gifted me that money. And then you want it back. I said, don't give people money if you're going to take it back. All because of some stupid Reddit post. And then what's weird is, like, I said, you was always a troll. Because if that's the case, then why all of a sudden you're coming with this energy? I didn't even say anything to them except Ronald's not my father. And the stuff they try to say, like, oh, your mom was pregnant before, when she met your father, she was already pregnant. That made no sense considering, like, a year in 1993, she lost a child. That would have meant that me and my sister would have been twins. Mind you, she met my father a year before I was born. If you do the math, it makes perfect sense who my father really is. And it just bothers me. And then, like, to have to keep constantly mentioning my dead sister, which doesn't really bother me that much because, you know, I'm used to it. But it's like, pisses me off. Like, I shouldn't have to keep explaining myself. But some people are going to believe that Ronald dude is my dad because they don't want me to be black. Then try to say, I know more about being black than you do. It is in DNA. First of all, you are not born black. It's not in your DNA. Clearly, if you was black, you would know that. Being black is not in DNA. It's literally phenotypes. It's literally when you look at someone, you know they're black. She's like, I can look at you and tell you're not black. No, you just want to. I don't know why you wanted to start a fight with me. And I think they realized they get. If you need money to pay your bills, do not give somebody money. Or if you have to do important things with your money, do not give people money. I don't understand this pretenses of giving people money and then you need it, so now all of a sudden you want to cause some commotion to someone because you want your money back. You're not getting your money back. You snooze, you lose. You shouldn't gift people money and then expect to get it back. And then I have to sit here and literally, like, defend myself over some random guy that is so weird that people, I know about being black, and black is not in your DNA. You cannot be born black. And anyone who thinks that is just as dumb as, I don't know, as these Trump supporters. We're all gonna be screwed for the next 4 years. And maybe you should be worrying about that instead of worrying about some random white man on the internet who I didn't even know until Reddit said something about him. I didn't know who this Ronald dude is. We're all effed, right? Because black people tried to save y'all again, and y'all didn't listen. Majority of black people voted for Kamala Harris, and the rest of y'all idiots voted for Trump. And look at where it got us. 4 years of heck. And the attorney general who just got picked trigger warning, slept with a 17-year-old, and yet he's allowed to run for attorney general? You mean to tell me a rapist, trigger warning, and the attorney general who slept with a 14-year-old, mind you, a rapist can run for president, and an attorney general that slept with a minor can be an attorney general? Is this what we're doing? And not to mention Robert Kennedy Jr., RFK or whatever his name is, the raspy smokes too. It sounds like he chewed a pack of Marlboros. It sounds like he chewed packs of Marlboros. Literally is about to work for Health and Public Services or something. And literally, I found out this dude had went and told people that COVID, that if you get the COVID vaccine, it causes you to get autism. Do you know how dumb that sounds? And you have this guy running, and people are like, he's gonna be good because he's going to make sure there's not chemicals in our food. He sounds so dumb. Literally sitting here saying that the COVID vaccine gives you autism. That dude has a brain full of marbles if he thinks that. He's marbles. Like it is just so insane to me that these people pick to elect in our country. Our country is going to SHIT because some guy that everyone says, oh, he told y'all that he's gonna work on making sure there's not chemicals in our food. Who gives a crap? Did you not see how RFK was talking? His whole presidency, he was just a dumb idiot that got disowned by his family. And I bet you John Kennedy is rolling in his grave. Him and his brother, they don't want nothing to do with that. If John F. Kennedy was alive right now, he'd be disappointed. They were not Republicans, mind you. They disowned him and voted Kamala Harris. His family did. They said, we want nothing to do with him. They literally made a statement saying, we don't condone what he says. This is literally the same dude that picked up a dead bear from the side of the road or unalived the bear. Trigger warning, remember that? And then kept it in his car and rode around with it and went on a joyride with a dead bear in his back car, which is against the law, mind you. And you got him, I don't know, Trump. Those of you who voted for Trump, don't save her. She don't want to be saved. That's literally the motto. Don't save these people. Let them learn. The next 4 years, when your grocery prices go up, when the gas prices go up, when you can't afford nothing, I'm just gonna say it. When you can't afford nothing, I'm telling you right now, you better get money saved up because you're gonna be living I'm already feeling the effects. I bought a little bit of groceries, right? I'll take one. I bought a little bit of groceries, $111. For a little bit of groceries. 2 loaves of bread, peanut butter and jelly, ham, 2 boxes of chips, 4 little things of orange juice, because, my family drinks orange juice, We got like 9 Lunchables, 2 cases of 24 sodas and water. $111. What else? Oh, the hard candy. My mom got hard Jolly Rancher candy. Yeah, that was it. Not smart spending. Wow, when you don't have a place to cook and that's all you have to eat for dinner, which is like probably peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or ham sandwiches, yeah. We have a place to cook right now. We're not trying to go to another motel or a place where we're not owning it, because we were literally paying $1,600 at the other place, and there was no sense in doing that. There's no sense in renting if we're not going to own the place. I don't want to keep renting somewhere and have to worry about having to move again, or they say, hey, the internet's doing this, you need to get out. No. Actually, I enjoy it. I kind of enjoy it. At least I get to get out and do things. I saw a wolf. I think it was a wolf. Walk by, and then I've seen rabbits. We have a lot of rabbits here, I noticed. Every area I've been at, all around Albuquerque, has rabbits.
Stray cats.
Cats. The rabbit was looking at me with one eye. He really liked me. He was just sitting there watching me. I wish I had something to give them, like lettuce or something, but... And then there was a PetSmart we went to. Yeah, they had some cool animals. I saw the lizards and I'm like, I want to kind of get a lizard. When I get a place to live, obviously, a permanent place. But no, I think I might stick to getting a turtle.
We should get that tarantula spider.
They had a tarantula. I was seriously gonna consider a tarantula, but I don't know how to take care of one. I would rather much take care of turtles, because I've had friends that have had turtles. We've had friends that have owned rats, so I know how to take care of a rat. I could get a rat if I wanted to, but my dad doesn't like rodent animals, so anything like guinea pigs or rats we can't have. Although I did want like another hamster or guinea pig. Well, I didn't have a hamster. My brother did. But yeah, my dad didn't know we had that one, so yeah. I'll see what I say, get rid of it. You can't have rodent animals, but a turtle's fine. I mean, I know how to take care of a turtle. That's not a problem. When I have a place, obviously. I saw the fish and I was kind of like, ooh, fish. Yeah, there was a kitten for adoption. I don't really much like cats. I don't know if I'm allergic to cats. I mean, I saw the birds too, and my mom wants to get another bird again. And I was like, I kind of like the birds, but I don't know. I would either prefer another dog a dog and a turtle. Because, get birds. Birds are a lot to take care of. Well, not really, because we had a bird before. We had a bird before, but where we were moving, we couldn't have the birds. So that's why we gave it to my brother's friend, because he had a cousin who has a cockatiel too, and our bird was going to live with another bird. So my whole family, my pets loved my grandma, because we had 3 dogs and a bird at our old house, and that bird really loved my grandma a lot. So did my little dog. If you look on I think it's my Instagram, it's a Chihuahua dog. It looks like Hershey, but it's not Hershey. She was a stray dog. 2 of our dogs were stray dogs because Tina, her name was Tina, my dad named her that. she showed up at her doorstep. The person who had her abused her very badly. Trigger warning. She was missing teeth. The only thing we could give her was hot dogs, because she couldn't eat like dry dog food because it was hard for her to chew it because she didn't have any teeth. We would have to soak the dog food, and she really liked the hot dogs, so we gave her that. And then I think my mom called the animal control, and they told her to put, I think it was chicken broth in something. I can't remember.
Give her chicken and rice.
Yeah. Something like that. So we took her in because the owner, we went to this house, right? And they were like, oh, thank you for the gift points, by the way. They were like, hold on, let me do this real quick. Oh, it's right here. So, anyways, they, we asked the neighbor, we were like, whose dog is this? Because we were trying to find the dog, and they were like, oh, it's the neighbors across the street. We were like, okay, and they were like, but they're not there. So we leave. Thank you for the gift points. We leave, and, hold on. Anyways, so then we leave, and the neighbor is like, runs out of the house, gets into their truck, and leaves.
You can probably reach it. It was on that side. I don't know where it went.
Anyways, so then, the neighbor runs, gets in their truck, and drives away. And so I told my mom, I was like, we saw the person, and my mom was like, no. My dad was like, please, can we keep her? And we begged, and then my dad was like, wanted to keep her, so we kept her. The other dog, there was this real interesting lady. The lady that lived next door to us, her dad was actually like the owner of the boxing association, or worked with the boxing association, and had a lot of photos. Like, she showed us photos of her with famous people. Her dad was like Sammy Davis Jr. A lot of like famous people, because he worked in the boxing industry. And she had a very interesting life. She bought her apartment. So the apartment she was living in, she bought it, and she lived next door to us. She gave me this it was like an old bear. It was probably expensive because it looked like it was made out of real fur. But then we had a dog at the time that chewed my bear. Oh, that's sad. She also gave me a kimono. It wasn't real. I thought it was until I noticed it had been re-sewed. Maybe something happened and she had it fixed. Anyways, thank you for the gift points. So, this dog, my brother saw, they dumped it. They were having a yard sale. They were getting rid of things, and they just dumped the dog. And they were just gonna leave it and drive off and just leave it abandoned. Poor dog. And so, what happened is that, so then they left it. And the lady begged us. She was like, can you please take the dog? Because she was the lady that took in all of her animals were stray animals that were abused or abandoned. The cat was left in a cage in the backyard of the apartment we lived in. She said the people that lived there before us, they had a cat that they left in the cage in the backyard, and it got out, so she just kept it. She just took the cat and kept it. Then she had this little weenie dog. You know, the Dutch hounds. I call them weenie dogs, but you know. She had a Dutch hound who, trigger warning, his ear was torn off, part of the ear. Because she said kids put firecracker in his ear. And trigger warning, blew his ear off. And then how she found the dog was this little girl had the dog by the neck and was swinging it with a rope. She put the rope around the dog's neck and was swinging the dog. And the lady said, "Hey, give me that dog." She took it in. So she was the kind of lady that took in stray pets. So then what happened is that then she begged us. She was like, "Thank you for the gift points." She was like, "Can you please take the dog in? I'll give you some dog food." And my mom was like, "Well, I don't know if their dad will allow them to keep the dog." So then when my dad comes home, the dog jumped in his lap, right? And so then he was like, "All right, you can keep the dog." So we had her name was Pika. Someone told us it was a very expensive dog. Thank you for the gift points. We don't know that until like the animal control said like, "Hey, this dog it's a mix." It wasn't what someone told us it was, I don't think. So we had the 2 stray dogs. The other dog that I had was because I got it for my birthday. It was a bull mastiff. And so the neighbor across the way in their house, their dog had puppies. Thank you for the gift points. And I really wanted a dog for my birthday. So my dad was like, "All right." He paid like, I think it was $200 or $100. That dog and another dog were the only 2 dogs that came out fine, and all the other dogs had disabilities. Like, some of the other dogs were blind, one of the other dogs was deaf, and the dog that I picked, and there was one other puppy that came out without anything wrong with them. They were okay. So we had 3 dogs. We had already had the bird from when we moved from our apartment, because when we came home, my parents had went to get a bird, and my dad really wanted to get this puppy, but my mom said, "No, let's get the bird." They were going to get this like parrot. Yeah, it was a parrot that had a 1,000 vocabulary word. Like, he knew 1,000 words, but he was full grown and he couldn't be held. Like, our cockatiel was able to be held. He was loved. He had a family that loved him. Well, I mean, I loved him, but I was terrified of him because he always flew at me. But yeah, you know.
The bird did a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he whistled. He whistled songs. He dialed the phone. He played hide and seek. He was a very smart bird.
Whistled a tune from Andy Griffith. Adam's Family.
The Michael Jackson.
He did a Michael Jackson song.
Because my dad used to sing that song to him and he would whistle it. Every morning.
If your dad to go over, he would whistle that song.
Yeah, he would.
Sneeze.
Yeah, he did
even
sneeze.
Laughed.
Yeah, he did laugh. Because cockatiels, you can train them to talk. They do talk. But our bird didn't talk because I guess we tried to teach him to talk, but he wouldn't talk. He just did sounds. That's what he did. Like, he dialed the phone and stuff like that. But cockatiels do talk. You can train them to. Our bird we tried to train him, but he wouldn't learn to talk.
I would tell him, you would hide, and I'd say, "Go find him," and he would go look.
Mm-hmm.
Very smart.
Something's going on. Anyways, thank you for the heart puff.
Your father had company over or whatever. Business people, he would laugh. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah. I remember that.
And then I'd be watching TV and I'd hear somebody sneezing. And I'm like, "Who's sneezing?" And I realized the bird was sneezing.
Yeah. That's the only other animal besides dogs and cats that we had as a pet. Oh, bro.
No, remember we were supposed to have the pet Rico, The roach.
Rico the roach.
People are saying we had a pet Rico roach.
No, he was at the Met Gala. Who knows where he went from the Met Gala? He probably went to the Wicked premiere. He's probably defying gravity. Imagine the roach is defying gravity.
It wasn't a roach, guys. It was a cricket.
A lucky cricket. Like Mulan.
They were mistaken.
Thank you for the gift points. I think I'll try defying gravity. I'll say goodbye, defying gravity. And you can't breathe. I'm just kidding. No wizard that there is or was is ever gonna bring. So I could see the roach flying around.
Oh, there is roaches that fly, guys.
Yeah, well,
We've seen flying roaches. They're big and they fly.
ew. We did. Our house used to have flying roaches. Our old house. We kind of lived it. It wasn't in the middle of nowhere. But where we lived, it's kind of like a stretch of road and then it's like dirt. If you look up, thank you for the gift points. If you look up where, okay, so this is another trigger warning. There's this huge case called the West Side Murders. And a bunch of women went missing when they were digging up for these new houses where I lived, which, mind you, the site where they found these bodies was right across from my high school. Right across. When they started digging for these brand new houses, they dug up remains and found out that these were the missing women. Some of them were, I can't say the word on TikTok, they sold themselves. That's why they were missing, and no one knew because somebody was dumping them out in this area because the area that I lived in is dirt. So nobody knew because it's way in the middle of nowhere. If you like go out like the west side, if anyone that lives in Albuquerque, New Mexico knows where the west side is, that's where they were. Like, this person was literally dumping them there because obviously who's gonna drive way out that way and start digging, right? And I guess they didn't think people was going to, you know, find out, but they ended up finding out because they were digging for new houses. So there's this thing that they did. They have playing cards that they were passing around in jail with the victims on the playing cards in hopes that maybe somebody would recognize and be like, hey, you know, might know something that happened. Somebody might say, somebody told me this story, you know, to find out like the victims. So yeah. Oh, that's another thing I was going to talk about. That's the reason why I didn't do true crime. You know how I was going to do true crime on YouTube? There's this girl that just made a video on TikTok. I don't remember how long ago I saw it. Literally saying that her brother is a true crime story and she's upset because she can't move past it because people are talking about his story, like true crime people. And what I want to say to that is, if you guys are going to do true crime, please, 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 you always have to ask permission from the family. Thank you for the gift points. Before you do true crime. I don't understand why people just start talking about something without asking the family first. Because sometimes they don't want it to be brought back up again. That's why, for that reason, I was like, oh, I'm not going to do that because then I have to ask the family. And I don't want to, like, have to, like, wait for a response. And then, you know, I just don't want to ask the family and then they get bothered because so many people are asking, like, hey, can I talk about this? Hey, can I talk about this? But like, yeah. Oh, I wanted to talk about this reporter chick. I know who she is. She's been in live streams. And I heard that she was a Zionist, I believe. I don't know if that's true. Anyways, this lady hops into my box talking about you busted her from the TikTok shop. And like, people could be rich or be broke. You know the joke from like White Chicks where they're like, where they asked their dad, they were like, how broke are you? And he's like, MC Hammer broke. Like, literally MC Hammer was rich, right? And then went broke. Like, people could have money to buy things and then not have money to buy things. And to literally like come in my page, like, you're a Zionist. You support the unaliving of, trigger warning, of innocent children, from what I heard. That's what I heard somebody was saying. Like, maybe you should stick to your journalism instead of sticking to being in people's comment sections telling them you bought stuff off the TikTok shop. The non-stick pans were free. I got some stuff free from the TikTok shop, mind you. I already said what I got free and what I didn't get free, because in my videos I tell you, hey, I bought this. I'm not gonna lie. You ain't gonna catch me out here saying things that are untrue and act like I got something I didn't. Thank you for the gift coins. Like, and there was so many people. Oh, there was a large creator. You know who she is. A trans creator that commented under my video too about the whole situation with you know who, saying that it wasn't racism. And there's black people in that said person's comment section saying that they don't feel right about her calling a black person an animal. And I'm like, oh, what was that? Because the person tried to defend her saying, this isn't racist, that's not racism. And the reason why a lot of these large content creators are coming to my page is because there's a large content creator who he reports on stuff. He made a video about the situation with that said person. And obviously it's going to get attraction because he has a lot of influencer friends that he knows, like a lot of people, because he's like a T page that talks about celebrity gossip and all that kind of stuff, which, you know, we're mutuals. Anyways, but reported on it because apparently, you know, what she said went viral. So, yeah. Yeah, it went viral. So now everybody and their mother is making videos about me, like saying, oh, blah, 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 blah. Like, there was this one girl that, like, literally, I didn't know who she was, right? Because we had been talking, that she's like, how the F am I supposed to know? Like, she cussed me out in DMs and was like, how am I supposed to know that's not true? And but I was like, girl, you went and made a video and said something that was untrue. You said some, like, false stuff. Like, this is serious accusations to be making, and then you attack me saying, like, how was you supposed to know? Because a lot of these pages, a lot of you guys are playing a bad game of telephone. Like, you're repeating what you heard someone say online and then saying, like, oh, thank you for the gift person, saying, like, oh, well, this must be true because I heard someone. Like, you're only repeating what you heard. The amount of videos I've seen of so many people making so much videos, that, like, Caleb guy, the one Caleb guy that everybody said was trying to help me, hopping in the comment section saying, like, I was trying to help her, but all she keeps doing is playing the race card. First of all, you're not black. You don't get to tell someone how to feel, especially when they felt dehumanized because someone called them an animal for just sitting in their car while lying, saying that, oh, they're using the restroom on the sidewalk. When all I was doing was, thank you for the gift points, when all I was doing was sitting in my car watching them make that video. I watched them walk by and make that video of them saying that we were using the restroom on the sidewalk like we're animals, and I'm supposed to be dehumanized, and I'm not supposed to feel some type of way about that. Imagine if I called another black woman a gorilla. How y'all would be so pissed off. Like, you would be livid. Like, why is it okay to refer to black people as animals? There's nothing funny. There's nothing like funny about that. Like, when you know the history behind why black people got called animals, mind you, there was a lady that was passed around for having, she had a big butt, okay? She was born that way. she had, like, they'd never seen people like that, I guess. I don't know, it's just weird. Back in the day. She was a black woman that was being sold from house to house and being paraded off. Like she's some circus sideshow or some, it was weird. They were selling her from White House to White House. You know, the white tea people houses, to parade her off, and people was just buying her to look at her. That's weird. And then when she died, she didn't even get the respect she deserved because they referred to her as a gorilla. They referred to her as a gorilla. That's what they did. They referred to her as a gorilla. And then she didn't even get a proper burial until like 2003, I believe it was, when they finally gave her a proper burial. It took decades for her just to even get buried, like properly and respectfully. And yes, it is race related when you're referring to a black person as an animal. Whether or not you don't want to see it as her calling a black person an animal, I'm black and she called me an animal. She's saying that I'm supposed to be like some trained animal that goes to the restroom when people don't know what it's like living in Albuquerque, especially New Mexico. And mind you, we was walking to the thrift store to use the restroom. I wasn't using the restroom on the sidewalk like she claimed. I'm just sitting in my car. If sitting in a car, well, not my car, but if sitting in a car makes me an animal, that's really weird. She didn't see us using the restroom because, first of all, it's during the day where we was parked. There's cars going up and down the street. There's loads of people because there's a security guard that literally walks where we were parked. There's a whole security guard that is right there because that's where the immigration place is for, like, to get your status and stuff like that. So there's a security guard there. There's cars parked along the way. There was a diesel truck parked behind us. There was cars at the bottom that could see you because there's like the thrift store. So yeah. And literally we were just sitting in our car, and I know because she walked by and had made that video saying we used the restroom on the sidewalk, which, mind you, I wasn't paying attention to her. I'm sitting in a car, right? I'm looking at everything because I'm in a car. Obviously, what am I going to do? And I noticed her, and mind you, I had got a warning from someone. I'm not going to mention who. I was shocked. They sent me. And they were like, don't let the maid record you because people are telling the maid to record you. When I heard that, someone sent me a screenshot of a comment she was liking saying she was going to try to film us. So when I saw her, I had to alert myself and be like, I got to pay attention because this chick has already told people she was going to film me. Right? So I need to be careful for my safety. And if she tries to film me, I'm going to say something. I'm going to be like, hey, I'm just going to get the police involved. You need to leave us alone. We are not on property. So there is no reason for her to be walking by harassing us. And for people making the excuse saying that she was going to work, why is she making videos at her job then? She was walking to lunch or whatever it was while she was filming that video, lying to people, and I'm watching in 4K. Mind you, that day I was going to record her walking because she said she was going to record me. And for anyone who says that's an issue, the police already said that we could. The police said that it is public property. We can film whenever we want to. And then, if I would have filmed that video, I would have had proof that day that she made and posted the video that we were not using the restroom. And people would have saw we were sitting in our car. And then for her to lie and say that we pissed on our bed, first of all, our beds were bone dry when we left that place. Our beds were not wet. She's lying. She did not even, mind you, the other housekeeper was the one that was like telling us to hurry. We didn't want to have an interaction with the other housekeeper because she was starting with us too. So my brother's the one who went and got everything out of the room. He's like, you guys stay here. I'm going to handle the room. If that other maid starts shit with me, I'm going to tell her something. I'm going to tell her off. Like, she, you know, he was in a hurry. He had limited amount of time to get whatever he needed to get to take it to storage. So he got all the stuff that was good stuff. For her to run in there and try to film we left it that way and say we didn't let people in. Mind you, here's the thing that I'm going to say. I have a legit paper that says that we have to have inspections because people left false reviews at that place saying that our room was dirty. So if we didn't let people in like she claimed, how come we let the guy in who's the manager of the place, mind you, to fix our refrigerator? Because my mom said that our refrigerator was broken and they never came to fix it. So he checked it. He went into our room. We also let the other housekeeper in because she said she had to check the room. She ran random inspections. She said, I'm going to come check randomly. And if we see that your room is not clean, we're going to have to ask you to leave. We're getting reviews, and I'm not going to ask you to leave because of the internet, right? I'm not going to tell you to leave because of the internet. And I was like, okay, great, good. Like, I was literally like, worried. Mind you, I have a legit paper from the office that says we have to have inspections on our room. So I don't know why she thought coming to the internet was lying when I legit have a paper in storage. Although it's probably going to be hard to find. I'm going to look for that paper and I'm going to take a screenshot of that and post it. Mind you, that's going to get sent to court too. Because I have the video of her lying and I have that paper. And I have multiple proof. And for her to say that we got evicted because our room was dirty, that's a bold-faced lie. She was not there when the lady in the office told us why. She said they kept having issues with rent. They kept having issues with rent. Sorry, I'm sorry if I call you lady in the office. You know, and obviously I'm not going to mention your name for reasons. Because she has seen my TikTok. She knows who I am. So, yeah, she watches me, mind you. She was the nice one out of all of them, mind you. And she said, if I could have you back, I would. But the corporate said you're on a do not rent list, that we have to put you on a DNR because of rent issues. And we were like, okay, because we went to go pay the rent to get our room back. And she was like, I can't because you're on a DNR for rent issues. And we were like, okay, that's fine. Then she was helping us. She's like, oh, why don't you call this place? Try this place. Maybe you could rent here. And we were like, okay. So, you know, we took her advice. Mind you, that's why that people get mad when I say maid. The housekeeper was literally not there when that lady told us why we were on a DNR. And for her to try to say it's because our room is dirty, she's trying to capitalize. First of all, if you are so in danger, why don't you call the police? And for people that says she already called the police, she deleted those videos. Did you know she deleted those videos that she had just put up a couple days ago that literally was saying that account that is doxing her must be Tophiachu? And I said, you need to address this and tell people that it's not my family, because it's gonna affect our real life and people are gonna think we're doxing you. Rather than address it, she just deleted the videos because she didn't want to address the comments, like if that's going to make it any better, like if people are not going to stop accusing my brother. Unless she comes out and literally says, hey guys, stop saying it's them, it's not them. She literally said who it was. It's someone that she has an interaction with in the past. I guess he's dangerous because she says she doesn't feel safe, and that she doesn't feel safe online and she doesn't feel safe in real life. Because I guess that person came back to stalk her again. I don't know who it was. I guess apparently his name is Steve or something like that. I don't know. Some Steve that's been stalking her. And she literally said that it wasn't. She said it was him. And apparently he has a record, a criminal record. And people are assuming because she said they're misgendering me by saying that I have a record and she's talking about me, which I don't have a record. She was not talking about me. I'm not the one with the record. whoever is stalking her and doxed her, which I don't condone, is the one with the record. She inserted herself, and now I guess they're using my situation to go after her, which she did say that. But she didn't make a video addressing it. She just deleted comments. First of all, you blocked me, which I'm not salty about that because it proves I'm right. If I was lying about anything I said, why would she block me? And mind you, I've been focused on doing a lot of things. We've been doing a lot. We have been doing a lot. So why would I be worried or concerned about a housekeeper when I haven't even been focused on her? And I've just made videos here and there addressing things on social media because I need to defend myself. Like, I'm so sick of it. If I was lying, why would you block me? Like, that's making yourself more guilty than what you are. Then you're deleting videos because I said you need to address this and tell people we're not a part of that account. Deleting videos is not good enough. Filter our names out of your comment section. You are not dumb. You know how to use internet. You know how to use TikTok. You can literally, just as you can take your two fingers to press the record button, you can take those two fingers, type in any nicknames or names that people use for us, and filter out your dang comment section and stop addressing that damn account that is doxing you, and leave them alone or they're going to continue. You don't feel that much in danger if you keep addressing the person that you're so in fear of. You want to be this victim. She has a victim mentality. If you're in danger and you're in fear of this person who is literally putting you in danger, why do you keep continuing to bring attention to that account or talk about that person? I have to wait, sorry, because the 20% battery came up. I'm going to have to go get off because my phone's going to die. Just say, hey, Tophia, I know that I have my differences with Tophia, but her family is not a part of that account. Make a video. Don't delete videos. I didn't say delete no videos. Well, it's not victim blaming because she's playing the victim, right? Here's my thing. If someone is stalking me and putting me in danger, like so many other people I've seen online, they don't mention the person's name. So why is she mentioning the person's name, mind you? Because the person said, how do you know this is Steve? Because she responded to the comment saying the person was Steve. And then proceeds to keep bringing up the very same username and the very same account that is putting her in danger and doxing her. You don't do that, especially because you're antagonizing the person to continue to keep going. It's not victim blaming. It's telling you, hey, the best advice to give you is don't mention someone who is harassing you and you feel unsafe. You're coming to the internet telling people you feel unsafe in real life and online, but continue to keep poking at that person who is behind the account. And then in the process, I'm getting in the crossfires between someone who could be possibly dangerous. Now I'm put in a situation where I have to deal with this dangerous individual that lives in the same city and state that I live in that could possibly start harassing me next because you brought me into your situation. You need to say we have no affiliation with that account, and you need to take your situation and that dangerous person with you. I don't want to be a part because I don't want that dangerous person to come towards me or come after me or my family. If that person has a criminal record and is dangerous and you don't feel safe, why do you want to drag me when I already had enough problems because of you? I don't need your problems. Keep your problems and your dangerous people over there. I've already got enough dangerous people on my side that have already doxed me, threatened me. I literally just got DMs of someone threatening to unalive me and my family. They're going to find me and unalive me and my family. I don't need your extra problems. Just say, hey, Tophia's not a part of that count. Her family, her mom, her brother are not a part of that count. Make a video and leave it at that. Stop responding to troll pages. Like, I'm getting frustrated and annoyed. If that person that is messing with you comes to start stalking and harassing me, I'm going to blame you. You're bringing my problems to me. Instead, you should be worrying about clearing your record because they put your record on social media. I didn't. Okay? You're over here talking down and then when I saw that, I was like, you should know better than anyone because now you have an eviction. Now I know why they live with their cousin, because they can't live anywhere else because they have an eviction. They can't rent a place. I don't have evictions. I called them evictions, but they're not because my record is clean. I can literally build my credit and rent anywhere I want to. I don't have an eviction on me. Otherwise, I couldn't rent. But I can get my own apartment if I wanted to. You know, buy a house. Do whatever I can because I don't have evictions. You have an eviction. And you're over here talking about my living situation when you don't have no choice but to live with your cousin because you can't get a place to live because you have that eviction. You have that record. Once you have an eviction, places won't rent to you because, first of all, you're not trustworthy when it comes to paying rent. So they know you can't pay rent. You know, they know that. That's why they don't rent to you, because if you've already had issues of paying rent before, they won't rent to you again. Mind you, we're on do not rent lists. We're not on like evictions. The only place we got evicted from, that's my dad's name. He's the one that has that record. He has $7,000. They said it was added to the rent and damages because of what the police did when they raided us and they damaged the apartment. That's where the damages come in. And it's under my dad's name because we talked to legal aid and they said, do not show up to that court, because we were like, my dad's in jail. They want to take him to court for this and he's in jail. How do we get him to go to like the court date? And he's like, they said, are your names listed there? And we were like, no. He was like, don't go to court. Because if you go to court, they're going to put your names down and you're going to be listed on that eviction too. Do not go to court. That's what legal aid told us, so we didn't go to court. So our names are cleared. The only person's name who is not cleared is my father's, because, you know, he's the one that was, our names were on the lease, but he was the one who was like the what do you call it, head of household. So that's why his name was thrown under the eviction. But anyways, you know, I don't have any evictions. I could rent anywhere I want. I don't have to live with a family member and pay rent in the back of their house because I can't afford, because you can't get a place to live. And here you are, you got exposed for that and saying, oh, you spelled my name wrong, this and that. But you're talking down on somebody who is going through something. And then to be so smug and be and if it's not a racial thing, I don't understand why she was laughing at calling the police on us and saying like good luck and calling me the B word outside of my name, and then being so giddy that she called the police saying like suspicious car, like she was being threatened. Then said she was gonna file a report with the FBI. Mind you, they don't do anything that has to do with what you're trying to report them about me, because the FBI only deals with federal crimes. I know, because I called them on the neighbor and I said, we don't deal with anything that has to do with that. It has to be a federal crime. So you can call the FBI all you want. They ain't gonna do anything. And to literally say, oh, well, you called and got the police involved by saying suspicious car, why are you so happy about calling the police on black people? That's just crazy. And then to say that's not a racial thing, yeah, it is. She weaponized the police for no reason. there was no reason for her to call the police and say that she felt like she was being threatened, like she's the victim. She wasn't in danger, so why is she calling the police? We didn't threaten her. I didn't threaten her. She called the police because she said I was gonna call, because I don't remember if I ever said that, but she was like, oh, you're gonna call the police on me, so I'm gonna call the police on you. Like, first of all, you're putting out information that people are gonna know who it is. Because people said, well, she didn't mention you. People sent me the video. That's how I found out about this in the first place. Asking me if I was okay, saying that she made a video. People, lots of people knew who she was talking about. Whether she mentioned my name or not, they know. They're not dumb. She should have never came to the internet with that. Then she started playing victim, weaponizing the police, which is wrong. If it was a whole other situation, like George Floyd, or a situation like that, y'all still wouldn't care because it's me and my family. That's the sad thing about it. It's like that we're literally okaying white people to weaponize the police, knowing how the police are. Mind you, I got harassed by the police. So the first time when she made that false report, the guy was like, well, you're going to have to move or we're going to have to tow the car. We couldn't move it. The car's not movable. So then, it was like 12 o'clock in the morning. Bang, bang, bang. Right? I'm terrified because I don't know who's at my window banging. And my mom was like, someone's banging, but I pretended I was asleep because I was like terrified. I'm like, I don't want to open my eyes and see who's there because I'm already getting threats up the wazoo. And I was very much terrified. Like, my safety was disturbed. And so then they were like, you're gonna have to move this car. It's in the middle of the street, which it wasn't. Mind you, cars parked there all the time on the side. There's a diesel truck that even parked there, but the diesel truck left because, you know, it went to go wherever it went and then it was gonna come back. And so they were like, you have to move the car or we gotta tow it. And my brother was like, well, I don't have anybody to tow. I don't have any friends. I don't have anybody that can come out and tow it right now. And they said, well, we're going to have you get all your stuff out and we're going to have to tow it. You're going to have to stand over there in the cold, mind you. It was cold by a tree at 12 a.m. in the morning because they're assholes telling us we either got to move this car or it's going to be towed. So then he's like, okay, well, then where's it going to be towed? Somewheres. They didn't even say where. Obviously, it goes to a tow yard. But they were like, oh, somewheres. We're going to have to call the ACU or what is it? I don't know. It's like they help homeless people to come pick you up and take you guys to the West Side Shelter. And we towed this car. So then he ended up getting somebody. And the police are still trying to tow his car. Like, oh, well, we can call. No, we got it. We'll move the car, right? Still trying to proceed to try to tow my brother's car. That's wild. After we just said we got it because we had to, I'm not saying hassle people, but it's 12 a.m. and he had to bother these people that are asleep to tow the car because the police are like, either you tow it or we tow it. We're asleep at 12 a.m., not bothering anybody, being harassed because this housekeeper wants to call the police and be giddy about it, dancing around her house, like, while we're being harassed. It could have been a much worse situation. With the way that Trump is in office, we could have been target practice. Trigger warning. That's just like literally my mindset now because Trump is in office. And I'm like, my mental is not good. And it was declining. I was terrified. I was being harassed by police. And then having like lots of people just sit here and be like, oh, well, you know, you should call the police and have their car, their car towed. Like literally making jokes with this housekeeper. Like, it's so funny to call the police on black people. But yeah, when people wanted to say I called the police on my father who was a black man, all of a sudden, which I didn't, all of a sudden that's bad, but it's not bad for this white lady to call the police on black people who are not bothering her because she wants to be a victim. She literally made a video, which is none of my business, of this guy that attacked her at a gas station. And you know, I'm not trying to play this like Olympics type thing. Like, what do you call it? Like the trauma Olympics or whatever it is, you know, where people try to say, I had things worse than me. Like in Albuquerque is crazy. I almost got people sliced open because of someone who was on drugs that mistook me for somebody that owed him money, and he was going to blank me with a sharp object. Luckily, my friend got in front, and I told you guys the story way too many times. But it's so crazy. Like, you come on this lot, you come on TikTok, you start telling stories, trying to play this victim. You keep responding to trolls, and you keep making these videos. You don't address anything. You don't tell people it's not us. And you don't leave that account alone that continues to keep harassing and doxing you. Posted your whole house, which, mind you, I'm going to say it, right? You don't show people that your house is not cluttered. You're the dummy who went and showed people around your house to show that it was not cluttered and doxed yourself. When I get a new house, I'm not going to walk around and show people my whole inside of my house. I already know better than that. You literally described my brother's car, which no one knew what kind of car he had. And then people are trying to say that's not doxing. When if someone doesn't know personal information and someone shares it with people, that's doxing. No matter how you want to see it. She shared the car that no one knew. She showed the inside of her house. Her job was not doxed because we all know who doxed my place. I'm not going to bring up who doxed my place because we already all know who. So if people knew where I lived already, then that means they know where you work because they knew where I lived. So you coming on the internet, literally just proving where you worked, you just doxed your own self. No one knew where you worked until you came out and said you was the housekeeper that worked at the same place we were staying at. That's your fault. And for people to sit here and say that, oh, I'm blaming her, because it is her fault. She needs to take accountability. If people knew where I lived already, which, mind you, people were trying to say they knew where I lived because I doxed myself. No, they knew where I lived because someone doxed me, which I told the judge in court. You're under oath. You cannot lie. And I said I had the screenshots to prove it because I was going to I call them samples. But, you have to send in photos and screenshots and things like that when you go to your court case for a restraining order. Because the police told me to file a restraining order against her, not the maid, not the housekeeper, but the other person, right? We all know who. And me and my brother went to court and both told the judge that she's the one who doxed us. And I received a message of someone saying, because of so-and-so, that's how people know where you live, because she told people what your brother's car looked like, showed his car, and I guess someone followed him to where we live. You're over here saying, yeah, I worked as the housemaid at this place, and this large influencer. People know who you're talking about. You just put your information out there, and now people know where you work, and you just doxed yourself. And I'm to blame because you came on the internet. Your house wouldn't have got doxed if you would have not made that video in the first place. I'm just saying, if you would have never made that video, you if you would have went back in time and said 10%, I really gotta go because this phone's gonna die quick. Anyways, all I have to say to that is that's her fault. She needs to take accountability and stop blaming me. Like I said, I don't condone doxing. I don't condone any of that sort. But for people to blame me and say I'm doxed, the judge is gonna say that I didn't dox her because, first of all, people already knew where I lived. She's the one who made the video first. No one told her to make that video. She, out of her own free will, made the video. People have free will. That's all I'm going to say. You have free will to do whatever you want. And your free will was you choosing to dox. Dox people share information that was not out there and you felt the need to do so. That's on you. Anything that happens to you on social media is you, because you brought attention to your page now. Way too much attention. And wait till you're starting to get the unwanted attention you don't want on your page. And that's what happens. That's on you, right? Just like me, I chose to become an influencer. I chose to do these things, but doxing is not okay. It's against the law. I didn't choose to be doxed, but I'm just saying, in a sense, you kind of brought negative information to the internet, negative things that brings negative energy towards you. You only did that, not me, not anybody else, and she needs to take accountability for that. That's all I gotta say. If people are saying she doesn't have to take accountability, that's crazy. Anyways, it is late. I gotta get up early. I gotta get some sleep. My phone's dying, but I'm gonna go. Have a good day or night where you guys are. See you guys later. I don't know when I'll be live. I'll try to go live often, find a place where I can go live, but I need to get some sleep because it is getting late. It's like 3 a.m. So yeah, my phone's dying. Victim blaming? Well, I'm not victim blaming. I'm sorry. Is it victim blaming when people said it's my fault that I got doxxed? Because the same thing you're saying to me is the same thing that happened to me. And people said it was my fault because I'm on the internet that I got doxxed. So then I guess apparently you're saying that people victim blamed me, right? I don't have anything to do with that. She needs to hold herself accountable. I don't have anything to do with what happened to her on social media. If she would have never made that video in the first place, she would have never been doxxed. If she knew there was someone that was stalking her in real life, why would she go on the internet? If she knew she had someone dangerous in her real life, why would she go and literally make a video and put me in harm's way now? Now I gotta worry who this weird wacko person is that I don't even know, that I could be walking amongst, looking them face to face, and be put in danger because she wanted to drag me in her messy business. No, you keep your business over there. Whoever that person is that is stalking her, harassing her, Steve, please don't come for me. I have nothing to do with you. I don't know who you are. Stay over there with her. Stay over there with Squid, not with me. Like, you put yourself in that position. You put yourself in that position. You're the one who made the video in the first place. No one told you to. That's your free will. Anyways, I gotta go because my phone's gonna die. Have a good day or night where you guys are. I will see you guys later. I don't know, tomorrow. Today. Or I don't know. I'll try to find a way to, like, film. But, yeah, I have to go because I gotta get some sleep. But, yeah. All I know is she's probably gonna make a video. People are probably gonna say in her comments, she's obsessed with you. She mentioned you on live. Like, go ahead. I really don't care. Like, she needs to take accountability. And if she doesn't, that's on her. That account's going to continue to harass her until she does what is the right thing to do. And if you're in danger, just go. Please. Don't put yourself in that position. People are not going to feel sorry for you. They can't help you. They're not the police. Sorry. There's nothing they can do. Anyways, I gotta go. Have a good day or night where you guys are. We'll see you guys later. Bye, guys. Stay safe. Call the police if you're in danger. The internet is not the police. They can't help you. That's all I'm gonna say. The internet is not the police. They cannot help you. So don't be looking for people to help you. No amount of money is gonna help you ever feel safe. Just saying that. Goodbye, guys.